Okay, so welcome to our next session of Shadowrun. We are currently up to session number 69, and that is season 2, episode 31. Online today we have Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I play Vlogger. Vlogger being burning troll. Vlogger master of doors. He knows where they are. He just can't get to them right now.
And occasionally you play Nero as well.
And yes, I do play Nero as well.
Okay. Also online we have Izzy.
Hello. I am joining Shadowrun after a brief foray a little while ago playing Jane, and I will likely be bringing her back for tonight's session only, so
And
get ready to have a bunny kick down some doors that aren't closed.
And have you thought of a name for who your rocker muse might end up being?
I have thought of a name for the muse. Her name is Rue, and I will send you some details soon.
Okay.
Is Rue Australian?
She's not.
And the at the table today we have Ross.
Yes, I play the lovable healer of the group called Warp, follower of Becky Thump from the BBC Pantheon. Now considering on a pilgrim back to London again, but is now wary that he might get backstabbed again.
Maybe front stab this time.
And is now currently worried about these kidnapping of this rocker, which isn't the bard that was previously stated. Would have been interesting if it was. Due to the fact that he's going to be going against one of the campus's lecturers, which he knows is they're incredibly powerful.
And one of the lecturers' buddies at the same time.
Yeah, which I think they're old Shadowrun buddies, aren't they?
They are Shadowrunners, yes.
Yeah, well, retired.
They're considered successful Shadowrunners because they've retired
Yeah.
and gone mainstream. And also at the table today we have Ariadna.
No, we have Shadow, who is equally concerned about going up against very formidable mage of great renown and respect in the both academic and Shadowrunning community. Being that I am a former corporate slave turned Robin Hood turned Shadowrunner turned kind of adept, only really mastered electrocuting people and maybe not killing them.
You also master the art of not being seen, which is
Yes,
actually
that's
probably
true.
the best out of all of us, because
Yes.
I can't do that.
I
I stitch people back together.
pretty much stealth is my dump stat, I guess. Or is it the opposite?
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite of my dump stat.
Yes, stealth is your exceedingly good thing.
Yeah. Stealth is where I put all my stats.
And just joining us online is Em.
Hello, I play Bolt, your ever lovable puppy, and not the sharpest bolt in the shed.
But it is the sharpest tooth.
Hmm?
It is the sharpest tooth.
Yes, but it has quite sharp and gnarly teeth.
And you also have in the background Hollow.
Yes, in the background I have Hollow, who is almost the complete opposite of Bolt, is probably one of the smarter characters in the group. Loves pulling apart technology and maybe gets a little bit distracted, and so there ends up being a lot of technology pulled apart, but you know.
You eventually end up getting there.
I
And
get there
see
eventually.
how well everything will go for you guys today. Looks like that there is a fairly even spread of corruption and magic.
Well, that's good, right?
Well, hey, 50-50 is not so bad. Okay, so in the current storyline, you have been, well, you can't really say hi because you haven't been paid yet, you have been given the job of abducting the megastar known as Euphoria, so she doesn't show up, and put her name to a new food product that someone wants to beat into the market. And so you have to abduct her before she shows up for the main event, and then return her unharmed 3 days later, so she'll have missed all the planned commitments and basically screw over the entire advertising run. And you've got a place in the Barrens that is one of those don't ask motels, where you've got a room and basically no one really wants to know what you're doing there, and no one really wants to interact with you while you're there.
And doesn't the creepy dwarf owner now have a hard on for Talon?
Quite possibly.
Well,
Or Desrin, it was hard to tell.
to be fair, everybody feels that way about Talon. Sorry, it is a little bit foggy.
It's okay.
Apologies.
They still have 2 days to finish their preparations, because the sooner you collect her, the longer you have to keep her.
Well, yes, we don't want to.
We'll be using these 2 days to do like stakeout
Surveillance
on her property.
You had
Or-
paid someone to do stakeout for you,
Oh, okay.
and you each have a chance to go pick up some gear you may need.
Sorry about the excess of powder. My hand just kind of just went too far in one direction. I don't have the fine motor control I used to have.
And so each of you will have a advanced credit of 5,000 credits to be able to pick up any excess gear you may need.
One really wants this job done well, apparently.
Well, I'm probably putting some of my credit into surveillance. Although, I think Sophie did say she wasn't going to charge us up front.
That is true, because you guys have been willing to pay her. She's able to basically do it on spec.
Oh, that's right. That was like Shadow's contact, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because Hollow wasn't experienced enough to or didn't. It would have been too costly to get Hollow to do it.
Hollow
more than your friend.
I was going to say, Hollow doesn't have registered drones.
No.
Whereas
No.
Sophie's at a point in her shadow running where she's got, I think, several registered
Yeah, no, like
drones.
Hollow's drones are literally like street trash that she's fixed up. So you know.
And you've got to have accreditation to fly them in the expensive suburbs.
Yes, which I very much don't have. And also probably don't have the money to waste on its single-use accreditation, basically.
You're basically spending more than your character has earned in its career on a license that you're going to burn.
Yeah. Which is why we went with Sophie. I'm not sure if you guys did a recap, but I was putting me to bed, so I'm just trying to play catch up with my brain.
We did a brief recap where we said that you had been hired to capture the megastar Euphoria, and that you had been you've got another 2 days to be able to get everything sorted out, but you have to pick her up on the Friday before she makes her first appointment, and return her 3 days later once all of her appointments have been missed.
Yeah. So, did anyone discuss? Oh no, but it would be like the middle of town. I was just thinking if like Bolt could also become like a different animal to help with the surveillance in the next 2 days, but
So we
might
do
be a
have,
bit risky with.
oh, sorry. We do have schematics of her apartment, penthouse type thing.
Yeah.
And we've established that because the live stream isn't live, we can't rely on it. And all the schedule and everything that's put up there, we've established that the only things that we can rely on as being truthful and reflective of reality is when she actually does live performances outside of her penthouse.
We worked out that Hollow could figure out whether it was a live. So just basically, if it was a doctored feed, then we pretty much could guess she was home.
And you do actually expect that she has been doing a lot of privacy stuff and has just done the fake streaming as if she's actually doing these events with some smart software, making it look a little more random than constantly repeating.
Yeah.
Such as the clock is slightly different, the timings are all not exactly the same, so you can't watch the 2 days back to back and see exactly the same footage.
Yeah.
But hey, if you watched it the same day 2 months apart, it might actually be the same footage.
Hollow's probably set up a program, or trying to set up a program that like monitors the feed. Just out of, self-interest, because, the internet is fascinating, right?
It is.
Um,
And someone who has their life all up there for everyone to see.
No, it's somebody who has a life up there for everybody to see, not necessarily her life.
Well, as far as her fans are concerned, that's what she does every day.
Yeah, as far as the internet's concerned, it is her life, I guess.
And there's so much product placement in her apparent place that, of course, she does get the royalties keep coming in.
I don't think Bolt needs anything. So, it should be good to go, but.
Well, what about Hollow then? Just because Bolt is good for stuff doesn't mean Hollow might not need a few extra toys laying around.
Yeah, weren't we gonna set up a like a signal system, like a manual one, so we didn't have technology in the apartment, because we can see this dodgy room from the desert tower, and we're gonna test that out.
We were gonna do some signaling with like torches or lasers or something.
I'm sure Hollow could rig something up a little bit more fancy than that, but
It was Tarlin's idea, and to be honest, considering that Tarlin is usually drunk 90% of the time, her main concern is fashion and trends. The fact that she came up with something that strategic, she was very proud of, and so were we.
Well, Hollow's gonna roll with that and make something a little bit more fancy than a flashlight. to send like a signal or like alert to like have different colors with different meanings, that kind of thing.
After we set up Sophie's meeting with Sophie. Shadow's plan was to go back to the Royal Meadows apartment and see what kind of job the dwarf had done on the apartment, and if anything more needed to be done, like just finalise, tidying it up, making sure it had the kind of amenities a star of that caliber will put up with, tolerate.
Well, you know it's a roach motel,
Yes.
literally,
Yes.
and you don't necessarily have to make her happy. You've just got to keep her from being able to get away and contact.
Let's be honest, you keep repeating this, but the best way to keep somebody in one place is to make them happy, or to give them sufficient reason to tolerate it. And
So happy drugs?
Happy drugs.
well, we're not allowed to harm her, and drugs might do that. My idea was to convince her that her life was in danger and this was a safe house, which would, if we are able to convince her of this, would give her sufficient reason to tolerate it. But I'm pretty sure if a roach the size of your hand turns up, she's going to leave very fast.
I'm pretty sure if a roach the size of a hand turns up, Bolt is your best friend there.
I think it's some preemptive pest control, a little bit of light, decent decoration. Doesn't have to be overtly fancy, but it can at least be livable. I don't think that's going to do any harm, and we've got to wait for the what's it called, surveillance stuff to happen as well. I also will need to do research on the mage on her face, because it's going to be me and Womp probably, so maybe Womp and I can go to the university and try and do some background or defences that might be effective, or delaying tactics.
Yeah, I think delaying tactics are probably the best one.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
basically, if he's not there, means that we don't have to worry about it.
so maybe we'll Hollow's doing the internet side of things and setting up a signalling system, and Bolt is doing ground surveillance around the Pacific Hotel. That's what Walk and I do.
Okay. So you guys are heading out to the university.
Yep.
And what are the others going to be doing? Because Jane can pop in and out at any point, as can Rue.
Well, I'm pretty sure Hollow could easily bump into Jane as Jane buys yet more.
Completely useless collectibles from the Aztechnology store known as Stuffer Shack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because even though Izzy's probably not aware, over the sessions
She's aware.
between when you last left off and now, we've come across Jane several times coming out of that store looking like she hasn't slept anywhere near enough. More twitches and ticks accumulating as time goes by, and with armloads of collectibles that she really doesn't need.
Yeah. Side effect of mixing magic and technology and whatever else. Ah. Well,
Hey, those tinkles really are catchy.
yeah, they are. Oh dear. Yes, yes. She has a significant collection of trinkets.
Hey, they keep coming out with collector's editions, so you've got to go and get more of them.
I know. It's just every time she turns around, there's a new edition, something else to add to her shelf. She's actually got to install a 10th shelf at this point. But yeah, that's all right. Better than falling under command of certain other people. So
And hey, it's not like it's alcohol or drugs.
yeah, it's cheaper than the whiskey she was drinking.
Okay, so yes, you've got two of them getting ready to go to the university. Was anyone else going to tag along with them? Is this something that Hollow or Nero would go to?
Neuro, maybe. Hollow would probably be building building the signal system and I guess doing as much internet research about this person that we're this person that we're looking at, and I guess just general like intel stuff.
I just finished looking up my notes. I've got a note here saying neuro-security. And then don't forget Bolt's cunning does allow for planning. And I was going to contact the children of Sophocles Stone. And Ross mentioned using predict with Arcana for me as being a helpful something. I don't know if I've already got it, but...
Well, you can, the successes you get on doing the predict once a day can be used on your skills later.
Okay, alright. At some point, I'll do that.
I think the only thing Bolt was doing was double checking like the escape route that he knows on the ground, just making sure that that's still like accessible.
As long as it doesn't rain too heavily, it will still be accessible, but it definitely will be as undesirable as you can get in the Barrens without walking through a devil rat's nest.
Yeah, but we were wanting to bring her potentially through this underground way, like into this hotel as well, because we didn't want to be kidnapping her overground as much.
We'd much prefer no one saw her enter.
Yes, you can literally get her in there, but you are taking her through some of the sewer pipes to get there.
Yeah, that's one of probably the most dangerous ones too.
Well, I guess that's where Bolt was gonna scout it out.
Yeah, well, that's like if I know this area quite well, so it'd be more just like making sure that there is no rats of unusual size nearby, and keeping them aka selling rats of unusual size for the next couple of days, and making sure that they don't come anywhere near this area for a little bit.
But it also, if there's any like homeless people that are set up that are dangerous types, maybe gangers or things like that may have set up somewhere, if you check the run, you can potentially scare off any of them for a couple of days or pay them off.
Yeah, well that was the idea, is that if there was anyone like on that route, just basically like move them on as well.
Well, there are lots of people down there because it is secure shelter. Though you're also worried about moving on too many people because that will be noticed.
Maybe bribery, honeyworks, good. Maybe start giving them food.
Also, getting them used to you going past regularly is enough for them to go, nope, not interested.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's the first time you went past them, they'll probably pay attention and remember.
You could be doing runs for Trixie, and if you
I've probably been around this area a lot doing runs for Trixie, as you said. Maybe not quite as often, but yeah, I'll make a point to make my presence a bit more known in the next like couple of days, and then maybe keep that on for like a couple of weeks after, just so it's not totally obvious.
My guess is you don't usually go through the underground tunnels to do that, though.
I sometimes do, depending, especially if there's
Turf wall gone.
Well, it's also in case the front door is not something you can go through.
yeah, the front door's something I can't go through, or I can smell who's those orc guys again?
Crimson Crush.
Crimson Crush, that's right. They got thoroughly rousted last time they came into this area, so I haven't seen them for a while, which is good. But yes, making a point of yeah, just being around a bit more. And yeah, hunting rats of unusual size, which I probably do anyway, so that's not unusual either.
But hey, considering there's a settlement down there, the rats are far and few between, because hey, rat shows up, they've got meat.
Mm. Mm. But you know Bolt is exceptional at hunting, right? I could probably smell one of those babies, like, from a while away. Even in the sewers.
You can, and yes, it is quite the society down there.
Mhm.
There are more orcs in the sewer system than there are up on the street, it feels like.
Yeah, but they're not part of the Crimson Crush, though. They're, like,
They're
displaced. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
also
so I
don't like the bigotry of being on the surface, so...
Well, Bolt doesn't pay mind to them, and they don't pay mind to Bolt, hopefully, so, you know, all's well that ends well.
You do see that quite a few of them will leave bowls of water out for Bolt or Bones here and there.
Yeah.
Always good
Yep.
to be on the right side of the terrifying bipedal canine creature.
yeah. That they probably haven't seen. Well, I don't know. They might guess that I'm terrifying, but they probably haven't actually seen it.
Well, something that goes around delivering stuff for one of the most terrifying shamans in the region.
True, that's true.
Yeah.
What kind?
Yes, but anyone who gets on the wrong side of her only knows the terrifying side.
Yeah. It ends up smelling like roses. Literally.
You are the fertilizer.
She is a dog shaman after all, and dog shamans don't like bullies. So she has a reputation of not dealing with the riffraff very well, as she puts it. Okay, so yes, as you're heading into the city, you're having to take the train in because, well, it's not as easy to get the cars through the Barrens, and you're trying to hide your connections to it at this point. So always easy to use one of your fake IDs to travel. You always have to remember which one you take so you can actually get the return journey. Unless you want to pretend that guy's stuck in the other side of the city for a few weeks.
No.
But there's always a digital data trail. Okay, so Josh, is Nero joining them at the university?
Nero can join them.
And would we also have either Jane or
Jane.
Just get, Jane will help out. I'll just get a step away. Sorry, 2 secs.
Well, I was going to say Jane could bump into Bolt or Hollow.
Yep. Okay, so yes, you're managing to get a train all the way across to the university precinct area. Luckily, the trains get better as you get closer.
Why are we in a train? I have a car.
Yes, but you're also trying to not advertise where you are, considering the university is linked to the people you're about to embarrass.
You keep giving me a car and then giving me reasons why I'm not allowed to use it.
You have to pay for parking.
I'm not bothered by this.
Oh, no.
Taking the GM's point.
Yeah, you don't want to pay university car parks.
Still, not bothered by this, but taking the GM's point.
also means you get to see what's happening in the city as you go by.
Train's nice, right? I know, but this is how I get to the
But to quote someone else we know from the Star Wars group, I would have to travel with the uncleansed masses.
We live with the uncleansed masses.
I am the uncleansed masses, but I have a car. I know I'm absolutely a part of them. I don't mind that bit, but it's having the car and not being able to use it. Today's the 14th.
Okay, so rocking up on the campus, not too bad. Didn't cost you too much, only set you back about 100 credits to get all the way into the district, except for Womp, who bought one of the monthly passes.
Cheaper though.
And I presume Nero's with us as well?
I'm assuming that too.
Yes, so me want the Nero to the uni. Yes, Nerion, you can come over here.
And yes, you do find that your lecturer is currently not running a class in his office, doing some of his experimentations.
I've forgotten what your lecturer's name is.
What Rakudas?
That's it. Is that who we're visiting specifically?
We can see him, but I was also going to just get to some of my schoolwork as well. And also seeing if we're trying to work out a way of getting what was his name?
Stone. Whose real name is Alexander Cross.
Yes. So Professor, to try to work out a way of managing to get Professor Cross delayed so he wouldn't be able to attend.
Okay.
Well, we could just ask, is Professor Cross going to be doing any lectures in the upcoming term? Is he going to be doing any speaking assignments? You're a great admirer of him. You've seen that he's an alumni at the university. I think, did Martin say last session whether or not you had attended any of his classes or lectures?
He probably would have seen him in one of his classes, might
Yeah.
not have actually interacted with him.
Well, you saw him in one of your lectures and he greatly impressed you and you're hoping that he might be doing future talks and you were just wondering if that was going to be the case. And if so, what subjects he might be covering.
How to blow things apart.
What's it say here about Cross?
He's a master arcanist.
Yeah, childhood friends. X-Runners.
Okay, so dropping by Ragadash, you can hear conversation happening in the room.
I will stealth as close as I can, not using magic, just using my natural, nobody noticed me abilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you can hear him having some sort of conversation about when he's next available to test the capabilities of his students' defences.
Oh, fuck.
They're due for their accreditation, and he really needs to know if they can meet the requirements.
Yeah, very
And you can hear a a laugh on the other end going, yeah, sure, he should be finished in less than a week.
So it is Cross, because we know Cross does the final year for WAP's bachelor or whatever he's doing, diploma, and he's the final test, which is how long they can last against him.
And he also says he will get the supplies Ragadesh is looking for around that time, as his shop's currently in lockdown while he's away.
He's what is in lockdown?
Shop.
Okay.
Was he potion maker as well?
He runs his own magic shop.
Okay.
Fake a break-in at his shop, that'll get him away from the Pacific.
I don't know what's worse, going into combat or whatever he's got there for security measures.
Well, I reckon we hire those orcs that work for the what's it called?
Crimson Crush.
Crimson Crush. I'm pretty sure you pay them to break into some shop. They'll just try to do it. I think two birds, one pun intended stone.
There's nothing wrong with Crimson Crush. You just need to deal with them.
They've just got a backstory with Bolt because Bolt is terrifying.
Most bloody shamans are terrifying.
Did I hear the dinner bell lunch getting called? No.
I'm trying to patch things up with you and the Crush, and you just keep on gnawing at it like a bone that you won't, refusing to give up.
They're a rather tasty bone.
I think it's actually the other way around. I actively try to avoid those guys, and they actively look for me. So if we run into each other, you know what's gonna happen.
And it has to be something Major Bolt did for them to have such a lust for revenge.
Yeah, didn't they escape from their
You did
the place that they were looking after?
No, they when you got out from that establishment, they were the Crimson Crush apparently took you in, but they were taking you in for their own fun, not for yours. So you were their favorite play toy who got away.
Oh, that's right. I do remember now. Yes, I was like alone and lost on the streets, and they were like, "Come here, cute humanoid puppy."
We will play / torture you.
Yeah, that didn't end well for them. Just saying.
No one talks about Fight Club until Fight Club eats you.
Yeah. No. No one talked about not making Bolt angry. you don't make the Bolt angry.
It's not unavailable. Did you say it's just closed up at the moment?
He didn't say why it was unavailable.
Oh.
He just said he will bring the materials that the professor needs when he finishes his current job.
Is Professor Cross actually good with alchemy?
You have no idea. He may be. As he is more of the arcanist than anything else.
Well, do you want to knock on the professor's door and meet Mr. Cross?
So this is Ragnar's office, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'll knock on the door because I actually need to pick up some more of my stuff.
Okay, you knock on the door and it just opens as you hit it, and you can see sitting at the desk Ragadash talking into a monitor of a rather blown up version of Alexander Cross talking via video. Might be because Ragadash is a little short-sighted and likes really big pictures.
I'm actually surprised he's able to use that technology.
Practice.
Yeah, which I've got bugger all. Don't trust the bloody things.
And he just says he'll be with you in a moment as he continues talking to the guy. And you do hear Alexander Cross asking if there were any majors on his class that he thought was exceptional enough to do a side job here and there. Ragadash sort of scratches his chin and goes, no one comes to mind.
Can he see?
No, I
You can see one.
Yeah, I'll
but
just.
can Cross see one?
Possibly not.
I'll just quickly use utility to flick a pen at him.
You're gonna flick a pen at your professor? Is this wise?
Yeah, I normally do it. He's I'm one of his best students.
I don't know what your relationship is like. It's just a player, just asking because.
Well, currently, I'm also one of his bloody interesting experiments due to the fact that there's blood curse.
I'm more than happy for you to flick a pen at him. I'm doing my best to magically not be noticed by anyone.
Okay.
So I'm drawing on what a spell I would like Mark to call Hobbit.
Stupid habit.
Until the pressure
I'm
comes
not sure
along.
what Neuro's doing.
Okay, so yes, you flick the pen at him. He still doesn't. In a moment, and he promises to catch up with him tomorrow and see how things are going. And he clicks off the monitor and says, "So you wanted my attention?"
Yeah, well, he did. The Professor Cross did ask you about the students that would probably be capable of.
Yes, but you haven't graduated yet. Graduation's important.
Yeah, but then that won't be a student.
We have many students who stay on after graduation for extra credits. And they're the ones who end up doing the tutorials on how to do stuff.
Okay, so we're just the guinea pigs then?
Well, you are the, he thinks about it, apprentices wanting to learn. Sponges for information.
Yeah, I agree with that. So
And plus, people tend to die in his service.
well,
And so far he has no troublemakers he really wants to get rid of.
well, if people die in his service, well, I'm good at bringing them back. Living, not the undead type.
He laughs and says that it's normally the students who die. More in this same service of decoy or cannon fodder.
Okay, fair.
So he has no one he really wishes to disappear from the university at this stage.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless, of course, you're volunteering to be disappeared.
I'm rather standing out than disappearing. Yeah, so I'm here for some of my assignments, so I'm handing some of the stuff in. As well as Professor Cross has what, a magic store? What does
Yes.
he specialise in?
He specializes in power focuses.
Power focuses.
Yes, things that enhance your magic beyond the normal. Enough to be able to go toe to toe with dragons.
You know, I'm
That
gonna need.
sounds incredibly dangerous.
So I'm
It is.
probably the one that's gonna need enhancing.
He has quite the interested parties in buying the focuses he makes.
So is this on the Iridic side or Gem side or what?
Oh no, it is basically along the lines of staves, wands, rods that can really give you an extra kick.
I'm in the market for such items.
Of course, these things can sometimes explode upon use, so it really is buyer beware. And if it does explode upon use, there's no point in going for a refund. You're generally not around for it. But when it does work properly, it is quite a kick.
Okay. So, is it for any spell users or just for a specific type?
Most of them are designed to work with anyone. And he's even done rings that can store power and unleash it. Rings.
Rings.
Yeah.
I like rings.
Okay. So, battery rings.
Along those lines, yes, but you don't really want to be around them when they get overcharged.
Must be a pretty penny.
It keeps him in business. He doesn't have to sell much to pay his way through the year. He doesn't even bother getting a salary from the university for the work he does. He just enjoys doing it.
What, shooting students?
Pretty much. He hasn't permanently maimed anyone for a few years.
My fingers are
Any
itching as I'm
idea
listening to this to pull out my thing and look up his website.
Any just a rough idea with the how much would a basic ring cost?
Probably set you back maybe 10 to 20,000 credits for his basic gear.
Cool, that's a lot more expensive than even this
No, it's
all the magic stuff.
Shadow's been saving.
Yeah, I know, I've been saving as well, but
Though he's rumoured to have a couple of items that are in the hundreds of thousands.
oh yeah, I
Not-
expect something like that.
Not that much.
And rumours are he did sell one for over $1 million last year.
Wow.
I'm more worried who he sold it to.
Apparently he sold it to one of the dragons.
That's incredibly cheap for a dragon.
The dragon was more than happy for the deal. And as you know, don't try to cheat a dragon because you never know when it's going to come back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and any word with my little problem I've got?
Yeah, I've had quite a few people looking into that one. Even Professor Cross has a few ideas about it. Though his ideas are all about throwing so much magic into the curse that it just breaks.
Yeah, but I break with it.
He says there's about a 50-50 chance to go either way. I still don't trust his maths, but...
No. If he's... I will break before the item breaks, if he's trying to do it that way. Overcharge the curse, which is attached to the item.
Maybe he believes he can make the curse believe you're dead by killing you for an instant. And bringing you back.
Yeah, that would work if it was a physical curse to the if it was linked to the body, but I'm sure this is a spiritual curse.
Which is probably why he hasn't suggested it to you yet.
Okay.
He does have a mage down in South America who thinks that if you're willing to give them some of your bloods, they can trace the origin of the curse. But he's a bit skeptical about that because they do a lot of ritual magic relating to blood down there.
Yeah, I know.
But to be honest, it is a blood curse, so they may have something on that.
And what's this with the exam next week?
Well, the exam coming up next week is, he's getting all the gear needed for making sure that his students have the best chances of surviving the exam.
Yeah, so it's a barrier exam, is it?
That is one of the exams. If anyone wants to be accredited in a spell to be able to use it for profit, they have to pass through accreditation.
I do have barrier, but I don't.
You don't have to get tested on that one, you just don't get accredited for it in the official paperwork.
Yeah, but mine's more spiritually based. He's bloody throwing magic fireballs and things like that through it.
Oh, he has the equivalent of a magic sledgehammer.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's not pretty.
But
On the plus side, he wasn't going all that hog.
You should see him when he's angry.
Okay. Tell me what happens when he's angry.
Well, normally it just doesn't go through the barrier, it goes through the person too.
Yeah, I expected that.
Normally he doesn't target the person when he takes it down in the test, he just takes the barrier down.
Okay, so he's... Okay. So was it a physical attack, or he just uses the spell on it?
He normally uses a variety of things. He's a well-versed mage, so he has many talents.
So is he actually at his store at the moment, or he's on campus?
Oh, he is currently on a job somewhere.
Okay.
He's sure that he's either collecting rare materials or gotten a contract to keep him busy. Of course, you wouldn't know who could afford to pay his contract rates.
So you were actually after some stuff for you?
Yes, he has a bunch of items that Professor Cross generally picks up for him around exam time.
Did you?
Sorry, what were the materials?
He says he has Professor Cross pick up some materials for
Just
him around.
generic
Yeah.
materials.
He doesn't advertise what it is because he's got someone in his office who's going to do one of the exams.
No, it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just trying to work out exactly what it...
He just laughs and says, no freebies.
Freebies? It wouldn't be freebies, it's just that
Or hints.
it'd be more of being
General
prepared.
curiosity.
Well, when you're going into an exam, you don't know what to expect.
It's a shame we can't lure him out of the room and see if Miro can hack his computer, but I'm guessing the magic that's in that room is probably not something you want to mess with.
Yeah, you hack his computer, you won't find anything because it'll be written down somewhere.
Because he does have multiple books on the shelves. And they all look like journals or textbooks or old books of some sort. But he still does have screens and computer access.
Oh, yeah, what's the name of that book again? That we pinched?
Oh, that one? He doesn't have that one.
I know he doesn't have that one. I'm just trying to work out how bad of a book that it actually was.
Okay. Well, you probably have the details. You could always ask him about it.
Then trying to work out if there's any ways of getting on Professor Cross's good side and things like that. Just try to.
Okay, so he does say that book sounds rather nasty. It's bound to have some sort of curse involved in it.
Which book is this?
The one that you stole.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one that I don't have anymore.
Yeah, but I was actually more worried if it's where it was actually going to go to, and more of what would happen if it actually fell into the wrong hands.
Well, he says the wrong hands is probably whichever hands have it.
Oh, okay,
You can't think of any right hands for a book like that.
So it's one of a corrupting book of something.
Or a book that makes people... says in some cases it will make them believe that they can make everyone else's life better by making it harder. A lot of dictators end up with books like that.
Yeah, so...
It's kind of a shame I handed it over, because right now I feel like putting a bullet through the head of whoever grabbed it.
So, basically, it's like a book of Marxism. it sounds great on paper, but in reality, it sucks.
Oh, it's just going to influence people to be harsher and harsher.
Okay.
Most books like that do. Especially if it's written in such a way to make you believe it's your long-lost heritage.
Well, I think we did.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar
I
because
think we did the Baron a favour.
And as for what was the next thing you wanted to ask him about?
oh no, I was trying to get on the professor across his good side.
There's for Professor Cross's
Try-
good
try-
side.
Trying to work out if trying to subtly get ideas on how to get on his good side, what his weaknesses are. And
Well, his main weakness is he doesn't really care about money that much.
oh no, he's an adrenaline junkie, is he? It's the excitement.
He does like the pushing magic further than it should be pushed.
Sounds like exactly the kind of person you don't really want to interact with.
As for magical weaknesses, he shrugs and says he probably wouldn't want to speculate on that one, as he does work with the guy. But the main weakness he can imagine is his friends.
Well, they did notice when we were getting information at the start that Cross and Osprey are loyal to their friends over anything else. So say someone takes a shot at Euphoria and Cross is in the way, Stone will save Cross before he'll save Euphoria. Basically. That's doesn't matter how much they're being paid to protect Euphoria, they'll protect each other first. And if you pay them enough, not that we could, they would probably leave Euphoria for a more interesting contract. Say one that promises more adrenaline junkie excitement.
But finding the amount of money to pay them is the hard part.
It's not a viable option.
We're also trying to find. We're also finding. So is Professor Cross's store closed now, or is it still open?
Oh, I'm sure his store is in lockdown.
Because I've definitely got a friend who would love to have a squeeze of some of the items.
Unless you have a accredited caster license, then he won't even let you in the store.
So students not allowed yet.
Pretty much. Which is, if you graduate and get yourself accredited in at least one spell, he will see you.
Oh, I'll definitely. Once I'm going down the healing path, so.
But then he will only entertain you for things that will help you heal.
Well, that's well, healing and dispelling things like attacking. Yeah, I'm more of a defensive person.
Yeah. Power foci can be targeted towards different spells.
That's what I'm saying. My barrier isn't great against sheer violent force. Mine's great against spirits.
So, is there anything else you would like before he gets back to his marking?
No, I was just heading it in and picking up the stuff for us. And trying to work out what the hell we're going to be doing with the surprise exam next week.
Well, he says as long as you're well rested and haven't been out on a bender, you should do well.
What day is it?
Oh, we're going to plan it on. He looks up at his calendar. It will be on the Friday, he's sure. Not this Friday, next Friday.
That's all weird. I would have expected Thursday.
Well, if it's on the Friday, then they've got a weekend to recover.
True. Okay. Cool. This is going to be fun.
Okay, so Yes.
Yeah, we're screwed. The only other way I could think around it is we hack the PA, state the tour's been changed, the address has been changed.
So you're expecting that when she finally gets out of the building, there may be a lot more guards around.
Yeah, we were talking about getting her in the penthouse. Anyway, we've tried to find out some info, hit a brick wall.
Well, you did find out a bit of info.
We
It wasn't
did.
really a brick wall. You did find out that he has a lot of stuff he gets into.
I'm not the most eloquent person at the moment.
And you're expecting he's likely to have some enhanced magic.
Enhanced. Yeah. So enhanced and backup power as well, which is what I didn't want to know, because then he could just force that all into.
Well, it gives him more options if he spent years building up his tools.
I was gonna, presuming that you want to cut to other players.
So, we have, I'd say Nero's hanging out with Jane at this stage.
I think Nero said he was coming along to university, but I'm not.
They may not have gone all the way up to the offices.
I was, when you're happy to come back to us, I just figure rather than staying focused on our group, you were going to balance it out like you usually do.
Yeah, I am trying to, but it's not always easy. Okay, so, Josh, what would your character like to be doing?
So we're here to gather intel on.
You guys have been gathering intel on the spellcaster. They found out that he has a magic shop and that he builds magic items that will make his magic more powerful and sells those sort of items.
Okay.
Could I also get his, the magic shop's address?
He doesn't give that out.
My question about the magic user is he weak to, say, physical attackers like Bolt and Flogger, or is he so powerful that like he can just repel like most things that come towards him?
Well, you'd expect most mages would be weak to physical assault because the more powerful they are at throwing magic, the less they have put into protecting themselves.
Yeah, my brawn is 2, yet my magic is 6. Does that give you a good idea?
On the flip side, he's got a battery sword, which you can, and if he's got augmented.
Yeah, but you as Ross is saying, like it sounds like he's unique in that aspect, that he's a bit more invested in protecting himself.
Think of him as a well-funded mage versus a street mage.
Right.
A well-funded mage will have body armor, will have magical fetishes and power focus to allow them to cast with less strain and more bang for their buck. So when you compare it to a street mage is running to make money to eat, so they're on bare bones gear.
The only gear I've invested in so far is my jacket to kind of stealth me so that I can do runs, and I've got 1 wand. That's as much as I've spent on my own gear right now. I would be the equivalent of a street mage. Although I'm about to spend some money now when it gets back around to my turn. And maybe get myself something. But yeah, so he will have maybe a ring on every finger that does something for him, and a necklace or 2 or 6. And then, as Martin said, he'll have actual, decent armor, some kind of the equivalent of Kevlar or whatever it is that a mage might think to physically protect him from bullets, and probably claws and things like that, I'm guessing.
And if he knows how to make magical items, he can just ramp them all up.
He might have a staff, a wand.
So I can't shoot him from a distance.
You
Disappointing.
probably can shoot him from a distance.
And
Is it rabbit season?
he's best.
It's wizard season.
His best defense is Osprey, the street samurai.
That sounds like a close-up melee fighter. I don't want to be near them.
Yeah, he's Osprey's scary.
Osprey
Again,
is a security
shoot from
expert.
distance.
So, as a security expert, melee is not his only skill.
Understood.
I was going to say, if he's a security expert, then maybe Nero might be best spending his skills on investigating Osprey.
Well, Osprey is the one who's hired everyone.
Yeah.
And has his own security company.
Yeah, because I think we put down Nero as a security person.
And all the security people work for him.
Oh, okay.
And he's hired to work for Euphoria. He doesn't actually work for Euphoria.
Well, before we leave the good professor, Shadow will do that old comedic trick of pretending to walk down the stairs behind the bench and then walk back up and come out of stealth and look around the door and say, "Oh, what, my friend? Is this the professor you were telling me about that sells the augmentation implements?"
Professor Cross?
Yeah, no, Professor Ragesh.
Ragesh can get some of the student stuff.
Yeah, look, I'm looking for an introduction here.
No, knock on the door again.
Okay, so the door opens again.
Hello again. I've just got a friend who's interested in some student grade implements.
Okay. So is he looks over and says, "So is your elf friend looking for a new fancy wand or a new fancy book?"
To be honest, respected Professor, I'm after something practical that's going to stop me from being killed while I'm doing my stuff for the good people on the streets.
Well, he says the wand is generally the simplest one you can get out there, mainly because it gives you each wand will give you some sort of bonus to a spell.
I have a bone wand.
Plus, the other thing is it doesn't broadcast that, hey, I'm a mage. Like
So
a staff
I will
does.
present my bone wand to him. I can't remember what my bone wand does, just that I've got one.
I think it's one of your attack ones.
To be honest, it doesn't tell me. It just tells me I've got a bone wand because Martin's gave me a choice of things I could get.
Okay, he looks over your wand and goes, "Okay, so this one has been definitely designed to attack or curse people. Anytime you successfully get one of those off, it will heal you one wound."
I'm more interested in defense. When I originally got this wand, I was a young and very dumb fellow, and now I'm a moderately older and hopefully less dumb fellow, and I would particularly prefer to avoid confrontation or delay as much physical or magical damage to myself as possible.
Okay, sir. He says his favorite one to do is the U staff.
The which staff?
U staff.
As in
Y-E-W.
Y-E-W, the wood?
Yep.
Yep.
It's very much an elven design.
Very pretty. I presume I can see a version of it.
And using the use staff gives you, when you do augments, barriers, or heals, you recover strain.
Yeah, that's my healing my holy icons.
Augments, barriers.
Barriers and healing spells.
Healing. Yeah, recover strain, yep. And how much does that set me back?
Well, he says, considering it is one of the student items he has around here, it generally goes for 600 gold credits.
600 credits.
Roughly around the same thing.
Yeah.
I will pull out 3 200 cred sticks and pay the good professor in immediate cash.
Okay. So he does accept your cash, and he does say that when you it does take range enhancements a lot easier with a staff, so you can make larger areas of defense or protection or healing.
So does this mean I can protect my friends if they're with me?
That's what he uses most of his staffs for, he says.
This very much suits my style. Thank you very much for your time, good sir. Thank you, Womp, for the introduction.
The only reason why I haven't gone for a staff because it broadcasts that you're a mage.
I'm stealthing half the time. It's gonna take another magic user to see that I'm holding one.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, your age increments are not good. Also, the damage increments are also good as well.
Well, it does +4 when you do an attack spell through it. Which for you, your base attack would do 9 damage.
So +4 to attack. Alrighty. I guess we've done as much as we can at the university.
I'll just stick with my scepter. I can hide that. Plus, I can beat people with it.
Are you buying something else then?
Oh, I was thinking of getting a staff, but it broadcasts that you're a mage, and I prefer them seeing my big pistol instead.
He does rings and things. You could always.
No,
ask him
he
about
doesn't do rings.
that. Martin just said. I just
No,
wrote
that
No,
was
that's
Alexander
Professor
Cross.
Oh.
I need
okay.
to graduate to be able to buy rings from him.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So he has a small selection of items he'll make available to students.
Oh,
They
okay.
consider the lesser magical items.
Okay. Alright. Oh, that's...
And the sort of stuff you see street mages with.
I like to have options.
Actually, pity that potions don't really last very long.
He does say potions aren't meant to last long.
Yeah.
When he says not last long, what kind of time are you looking at?
You're generally expecting a day to a week for a potion.
Okay, so you could, if you needed to do some things with your mates on a Friday and you bought something on a Wednesday, it would still be okay?
Should still be okay.
Okay.
He doesn't expect basically the more reliable the crafter, the longer it will last, but most of them don't last more than a month.
I presume a crafter like yourself, you get at least a week.
Oh, he doesn't make potions, that's not his thing.
Oh, okay.
That's my shtick.
My misunderstanding.
He says it's all good. He spent a lot of his time working on implements that he sells through the university.
It's good to know. I myself am considering whether or not I sign up to a course, which is what brought me here today, aside from Womp's praises and
Always happy to have new students.
and then I whisper complaints about doing your class.
Right. He's one of the easiest ones.
It's my attempt to charm the good professor.
He does say he's more than happy to rise to any challenge.
Like Mom.
I was going to say, considering Alex Cross's work at the university, is there... I don't know that there's anything more we can get from here.
Oh, he doesn't, yeah.
I don't say that to him, I'm just saying that to the group in general. Unless anyone has any other ideas about what we may or may not do at this location.
Would anyone else like to throw in some questions that they think could be handled by these guys?
Sorry, I got nothing. Yeah, I've got nothing either.
No. We should move on.
Okay. Does Flogger desire any upgraded items?
Probably not at the moment.
You've already got your tankini, you good?
He wants an armoured mankini.
Well, no, I think he wants an armored one. I think he wants a flashing one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flashing manky.
Oh, that's even worse.
I think that's what he asked for last session.
You know, ones with flash that go down towards the bottom?
So that adds basically
Intimidate?
defense
I don't
to
know.
the fact that nobody wants to look at him.
He's a troll. He doesn't need lights when he's wearing a mankini.
Yeah, but having glaring lights and things like that probably makes ranged attacks bad, and being up close even worse. Strobing effects.
Well, I'm sure it helps with his dance-offs.
I vaguely remember a while ago, you talking about essentially it was like a fishing spear gun.
Yep.
It's not like traditional gun, so Bolt is a bit more amenable to it. He has his bow and sledgehammer already. Is it worth for this run getting something like that?
Well, you can do many things with those things. They don't always have to be the cutting edge stuff. So many different tools can be collected. Just trying to find the tool section. Because of course my hands are working today. Let's see.
Cool. I also had a question which I could probably ask later. Because I can see like you've updated a whole bunch of stuff. When I click on my animalistic,
Yep.
it's got a whole bunch of updates and XP next to stuff that I didn't think I had. And I just wanted to ask how that
Let's
works.
see, we go over to Bolt. Okay. So on animalistic, people can actually spend XP in getting other things that they can have gotten that character creation.
Oh, so the XP is just there to say that's 5 XP, not that I've actually spent
Yep.
5 XP on it? Right,
That's
okay.
the base animalistic character. How much it costs, what it starts at, what your character's built from. And then when
How
you
do
go
I
down
how do I
to
know
the
which ones I've got?
bottom, you have Awakened, Fleet of Form, Shift Form, and Slashing Bits.
Right, okay, so that's where it is. Alright, cool. That makes a bit
and
more sense.
Has all your talents there as well, so they're all in one spot. It also has your Augment spell a little bit better cleaned up. I'll try to do the same with your Transform, but you'll know exactly how much you can do and what you can do with it soon.
Cool. Awesome, thank you.
All good.
Does that make her an Autobot?
A little
Well,
bit.
she doesn't quite roll out. She does go for a run though.
Exactly.
I'm more fur out, but that's okay.
Okay, so looking for things that would probably help you. There is like the Skies kit. There is the
I've already got one of those.
lockpick and lock breakers. There
Ooh,
is.
wait a minute. I've got lock pick, but not lock breakers, I don't think. How much are lock breakers?
Lock breakers are 125.
Can I buy a set of those?
You can buy a set of those.
Lock breakers. Minus 125.
And depending on what you're doing, you might want to get the whole climbing harness and that sort of thing.
I have a
for
climbing harness. switch my gear. But you did suggest at a gear to get non-lethal,
Rounds.
like things like stun gun type deal or darts. So we've got the option to get that. Where's the thing on gear? It's somewhere here. Gear. Get a list of gear for job. Non-lethal such as darts, stun, and patches. You can get stun patches.
You can get stun patches, yes.
Ooh, sounds like that could be a great way to knock a certain pop singer out if she's unwilling.
Don't think they're instant, are they?
Some of them will basically shove someone into unconsciousness if they're not ready.
I wonder if you stick like a whole string of like 5 of them stuck together to the butt of a certain mage, it'll knock him out at some point.
One way to do it, I guess.
You can really mess with mages by doing that sort of thing.
I'm pretty sure someone like Flogger could just like smack him on the back and then just stick a bunch of stun patches on him.
Let's try.
Anyway, I think it's worth having. It might stop Jane from buying more collectibles.
Oh.
If you stun her, huh?
Right.
I'm sure they can go with. They're very stunning.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking stun patches and for myself maybe a little taser or something like that.
Yep.
High powered but small. Depending on what's available.
There will be a few things available. How much are you willing to spend?
How much do they cost? I've got at rough count. I don't want to tell the rest of the group how much money I've got. I've got enough. I'll put it at that. I'll share the numbers with you after game.
Happy Patch will disorient someone, and that is 10 credits per dose. And Lo-Fi will basically give them epic hallucinations and send them on a trip for what feels like hours to them.
And how much is that a dose?
Lo-Fi goes for 50 credits.
50 a dose, yep.
Are these dark rounds?
Oh no, these are just chem patches.
Patches.
Gem patches.
Yep.
And
It's where you grab someone's hand, shake it, you pat them on the shoulder, you stick a patch on them.
That's if they're not wearing any clothing.
Neck.
you
back
can
of
do
the
them
neck.
on the back of a hand or
Yeah.
palm
Yeah.
or something like that.
Grab both their hands, the back of one hand.
And the old reliable is putting on a couple of stim patches on someone because 2 stim patches will definitely take someone out. No matter who they are.
Really?
Yes, because it will do 20 damage very quickly.
How much are they?
Stim patches are 5 credits each.
Can I restock my... I actually have a happy and stim patches already, but I haven't restocked for a little while, so...
Stim patches are very easy to get. They're the one of the most readily available thing. You can literally go to a vending machine and buy them.
I think about the only person who wouldn't get taken out with 2 is Flogger.
Actually,
Flogger would probably go with 1.
Oh, with 1? Oh, does it do 20 damage each?
Oh no, it is strain.
Yeah, it's
It will
strain.
inflict
Oh,
strain damage.
strain. Sorry, I thought you meant wound threshold.
No.
So if we look at what Flogger has going for him,
10.
he has 10. One stim patch would take Flogger out.
yeah, but then his little friend will front up.
That is true.
I'm going to keep this in mind for when I need his little friend to show up. That could be useful.
The thing is, you have to get in close to do it. I could do it ranged.
Provided it's allowed, because I know there's a limit. I'll get the limit I can on each one. I won't take them all with me when I go on a job, but I just want them sitting in my...
Well, you can easily carry 10 stems for encumbrance of 1.
10 stems, which is...
Just don't mix them up with the healing ones.
Oh no, everything's well labelled in my kit. I might get 2 lo-fi and 2 happy patches.
I'll play around with those yet.
So if Flogger makes a decent resilience check, he will not go unconscious.
Minus 20.
Which is why you probably use 2 stem on him.
Yeah.
Minus 100. High-powered taser.
High-powered taser would come in handy.
Little one.
Would
Like
be
small size. I don't want something that looks like a rocket launcher to carry around.
Well, there's also the stun grenades.
How many stun grenades do I have? Go back. Let's see. I have. Oh no, I've already got a stun gun. I'll take that back. Okay, I've got lockpick, infiltrator goggles, smart specs. I've got 3 sting, a box of 3 stings. What are they? Monoblade, 2 pistols or silencers, 5 stun grenades, and 1 jacket.
So you've definitely got the firepower.
Yeah, so I've already got those things. Is there anything else anyone else wants? I'm happy to put in towards group gear as well.
What else have I got online that I haven't got there? Let's see.
So I don't have the climbing harness on here, so I better buy that. You suggested a climbing harness?
Yep.
Cumbersome adds black dice, doesn't it?
Cumbersome will add black dice, yes.
So I'll find out how much that is too. And if Jane wants anything, Shadow will spot her because she knows how much credit debt you're in.
Yeah. I'm not sure, so I think we'll just leave Jane's expenditure at this point. Or you can go on the kitty for later.
I was going to say, you sure you don't want some happy patches for yourself?
Jane already carries a tailor. Quite a big one. And she has shock gloves.
Ah, yeah. I was going to say, they're actually really heavy.
So specifically built to be able to attack on either strain or wound. So, yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds pretty... what's the word? There's a word. It's a good word. Balanced. That's the word.
Well, her whole background is tracking down monsters, so...
How good are you tracking down pop stars and...
Do you want it alive or dead?
We want her alive. We need to keep her
not as great.
unharmed.
They only
Not-
get
not
paid if
great.
she's alive.
Yeah, that makes it harder. But decent. Decent is the... Oh man, what's best to say? I can have a...
I know. We'll stim patch Flogger, get him to open up a portal into her penthouse, grab her, take her through the portal, and then
forget where we left it.
and then use what is it that wakes you up after a stim patch?
Sniffing salt.
Then wake him up again, basically.
So yes, you...
We'll return to Deadshot, I guess, if people don't have... Did Bolt end up getting his speed gun?
I mean, if it's useful for this run, sure. If not, it's an interest that I have in getting at some point.
Well, you can get one that has the line attached to it, so it can be used for rappelling from building to building.
Mm.
Look, I manage your
That'd be useful.
finances. You can afford it.
Mm. Yeah.
So one spear gun for the puppy.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I take out of her account?
I will work that out later.
Okay.
Puppy has plenty of money.
To be determined. Yeah, puppy has a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't often spend on much, so I should have heaps of money.
90% of your budget is spent either on rent or paying off your bill at Trixie's.
I don't think I have a bill anymore at Trixie's. Would I at this
Well,
point?
you got a running tab. There's a lot of
Yeah, it's because she keeps
dog
on, he keeps
chocolate
on running around.
bunnies that you eat and dog related.
Why is dog chocolate? Oh,
Chew
why are we feeding the puppy
toys.
chocolate?
Because
No, no.
you can't really say no to the puppy when the
There's-
puppy's eating it.
Dog related damage
Yeah.
to parts of the garden when you go on a digging frenzy.
No. What you might have missed, Izzy, is that the Bolt has been spending more time in his human form. And he's learned that he can kind of tolerate chocolate in his human form as long as he doesn't go back to being hybrid or a dog after for a while. It's like, that half an hour, don't eat the half an hour before swimming. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
sense.
Trixie at Easter time made dog chocolate, so dog safe chocolate, so doggies can eat it. Bunny rabbits and carrots.
I'm not
and-
fussed on the rabbit bit, but okay.
To be more precise, Bolt was eating the chocolate carrots, and he went into kind of a chocolate carrot binge.
And the chocolate turtles sold out very quickly, so
And-
they didn't get a chance on those ones.
No, I think he got a couple of turtles, but mostly it was the chocolate carrots.
Yeah, I think I might have snagged a couple, but
There
Yeah,
was
that's the rest
actually a
was-
whole basket that went,
whole
according to my notes.
yeah, something like that.
Just got to eat them all, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's those special items that Trixie has that she just keeps offering Bolt, and Bolt keeps accepting, and then Shadow just keeps paying the tab. When she's going through the shamanistic parts of your tutoring.
The mushrooms that help you see things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily real things, but you still see things.
I put it under educational expenses.
I see things. Not sure if they did or not.
Used to be a corporate slave. I put it under your education and claim it on tax.
Yes. all of that, yes.
So Trixie has offered Bolt some wooden toys to help with Bolt's magic, but Bolt hasn't quite been understanding what to do with them yet.
Don't chew them.
Because
No,
apparently,
I'm pretty sure that's been drilled in, but do I get a better understanding the more she explains?
she does say that you can put magic through nature to assist. And some magic is easier to use if you're channeling it through nature instead of with what people manufacture.
Instead of brute forcing it like I've mostly been doing.
Yep.
Probably. Yep.
So when you say wooden toys to help with magic, is there an example?
She has wooden wands and
I was thinking
staves
wands
and
and staves, yeah.
even has scepters made out of wood.
Yep.
But they're more dog friendly.
I was gonna say I was imagining more it's those those wooden icons where it's like a little dog shaped wooden toy kind of thing.
She does have a few of those as well for channeling stuff.
Shadow's kind of asked Trixie to downplay the iconic figurines because we don't want to reignite or encourage the history of Bolt collecting demonic figurines that try to possess Bolt and then kill us Or
No. This is probably like Trixie's like safe replacement. It's like here, if you want a nice little totem that you can talk to, it might not talk back, but it's cute.
aren't those the plushies you keep walking out of Stuffer Shack with?
Oh, that's Jane.
That's
Ah.
right.
I was gonna say after the university, I guess we might head back to Deadshot Tower, and we may bump into Jane.
So, how well does the sleep packs work?
How does the...
Well, does the sleep pack work?
It should work fairly well.
What's a sleep pack?
Knocks them out.
Oh.
Poison designed to knock out target.
And it's called Sleep P-A-C-K?
Sleep pack. All one word.
P-A-C-K. Okay. All one word. And you said it poisons?
It's a poison designed to knock out target.
Designed to knock out target. If there's one of those, I reckon we should get a couple. Just in case we get close enough to our enemies, we can stick one of those on. I am not a coward, I am just a very sensible person when it comes to knowing my physical limitations.
There's nothing wrong with planning.
If they do work, can I get one for me and one for all?
Which one's
The sleep pack,
the sleep pack?
which is the poison designed to knock out targets.
So it's got, was it a rarity of 3, 250?
If it's rare, we may not have
No,
access to it.
it's...
All things have rarities.
Yeah.
It's just the type of thing it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, for instance, you've got ones that make you really on edge and upgrades your skill checks by 2, and that's a rarity of 7.
Just rereading the description of Cross and Osprey. If they get too close, I really want, if I have to stick 2 sleep packs, every one of my stim packs, all of my happy patches, my lo-fi, everything on them, I don't care if it kills them, I'm just smacking patches all over.
Well, the sleep pack will send you back 250 of those, fairly easy to get.
Okay, so I'll get 2, 1 for
Yeah,
the
I think you may have issues trying to put it, have problem putting it on the Street Samurai.
Look, I like Jane said, there's nothing wrong with being prepared.
Yeah,
Plus, you can
And
also
I-
put them into dark guns.
And
yeah, I think dark guns are probably maybe a
and
bit more successful.
as I was saying to Martin, I may not take all of this with me, but
It's
having
better to
it
have
in my
options.
kit for other runs where it might be useful. So it's 250 times 2, but I'll give one to Womp, so if you want one, put it in your
Yeah.
kit. Right, done. So that's minus 500, 600. 650, 670.
Hey, this is something that would be good for Flocker. Upgrade the, and probably for Bolt as well. Upgrade intelligence or cunning checks.
Martin just sent you the a very brief summary of Rue.
Okay. Was that
That
by...
was on Facebook. I can send it a different way if you want.
I was just going to
What
see
I
which
had
one I
on.
was going to look at, so I will bring it up here.
That's now 14.
Love the picture.
Thanks.
Alrighty. We'll go back to Deadshot Towers.
Okay, so
Unless
yes.
Neuro wants to go somewhere in the university to investigate something.
Okay, so yes, you rock up at Deadshot Tower and you find that you have one of the what they call local rockers there, known as Rue, who's also been friends with Jane every now and then. Basically, one of the few people you know who keeps telling Jane not to keep buying stuff that's not part of the group.
I'm probably going into Starter Shack to get coffee as normal.
Well, that's where you can also pick up the some of these drugs too.
Yeah, so I've got like a tray full of coffees. And if Rue looks at me as if to say, are they all for you, I say, I wish. Hey, Rue, I haven't seen you for a long time. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. It's just tired, running around trying to. Well, every time I come in here, Jane seems to be buying something else. So.
Yeah, same here. I have begged them to stop selling all that stuff. And to a
They won't.
degree,
It's profit.
When they did stop selling stuff, then Jane started taking Ubers to go to the next one and spending more money.
Look, I'm surprised she didn't take out a gun and just start threatening people. All right, so.
No, she's done that.
they can only do so much.
That's just for the chat.
Now that we've met, come up to having a bump into you, I was wondering if you're in the market for some work.
Yep.
We could
Always happy to
I don't think she can
get some cash.
So picture for you to see.
Oh, okay. So you're putting in Talon's going to make a run for her money.
So is that just an attachment, or that he's actually growing out of your head?
Is that a
There.
flower?
We're together.
I was going to say. So
That's
is
right.
Rue the flower, or plant creature, or is Rue the human that the plant creature is riding along?
Rue was the start. So the flowers, I just call them Rafi.
Okay.
It's just easier. We're happy now. Didn't used to be, but we got there. It took a while.
For those of us who are completely ignorant, is it okay to ask what the relationship is between you and Rafi?
Rafi was the consequence of some bad choices in my youth.
Bad choices in our youth.
So, is it a symbiotic relationship or a parasitic relationship?
That is a good question, and so far I'm okay.
Yet to be decided.
She's alive. That's more than can be said for some.
Well,
Jane, that's it.
Jane certainly speaks well of you, and we appreciate you looking up to Jane.
Annoying.
So, we could definitely do with an extra pair of hands on this next job. So, if you're interested, why don't you come
Happy to help.
upstairs and help me feed Hollow some coffee, and we'll fill you in.
Yep. Coffee sounds great, and yeah, money even better.
So the fellow, and I keep forgetting his name, he does have a name, Desrin knows it, behind the counter will automatically add an extra cup of coffee to my already overloaded tray of coffees, because I need 2 for Flogger. Although he has hot chocolate, because we don't put caffeine into Flogger's system, because then he starts drawing more portals and doors.
The flower will shift and start kind of flickering in colours that almost look like happiness.
Oh, I'll hand Rue a coffee, and then I'll pick up a second coffee, and I'm like, does Rafi want their own coffee?
No, it's just through me is fine.
I didn't even wait. As soon as you just started forming the word no, took the coffee cup back, I'm like, more coffee for me, I'm good. We'll head upstairs, and I'll knock on SoCal's door to wait for Hollow to open it, wafting the coffee cup near the bottom part of the door just to make sure that she doesn't smell it. Kind of like a comedic sort of, I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 cameras on me right now so that she can see it.
You can hear this kind of mechanical whirring and then kind of like click of the door, and then it starts to open.
And you see a little remote control car coming out with a cup holder.
And I'm like, it doesn't work that way. I need to see your face and make sure you're actually still alive.
No. It's then you get then the screen on the windscreen pops up and you see a little picture of a face there.
We need a
Webcam.
real person and a real body.
Yeah, reminding me of Big Bang Theory with Sheldon when he's running around in his robot.
Yeah, no, an actual body. Need to make sure it's still you and you're not being impersonated by the internet. Do I get a face?
I believe Hollow actually has to unplug from the computer.
I believe that.
Oh, I know. I'm jacked in and everything.
Hollow's out now. What's this? I gotta go outside. Not happening.
I guess I'm still in my room now. I hope you heard the inverted commas on that. Yeah, alright, fine. Hollow like starts the process of like getting herself out of the bed.
Hollow, you remember Rue? She's Jane's friend.
And you notice that there's a whole lot more of Hollow stuff in the room now.
Well, that's because the place got trashed.
Yeah, she's gonna be
Deliberately trashed, but yes.
Yeah, I know the ploy. You trash your own place, then you go in the sub-story that someone's trashed your place and you've got really nowhere to stay. And you do the puppy dog look, and Desrin's a sucker for all that crap.
Oh,
Hey, I didn't even need to do the puppy dog look. I mean, come on.
I was gonna say, what's gonna happen though when SoCal does return?
Why, SoCal will have his own bigger and better rig.
Yeah, probably, but
Isn't this technically SoCal's like bare rig room?
It's his backup.
it's his backup.
Yeah, it's his backup, exactly.
But
So
you've
he's
got to
not-
understand Shadow's relationship with SoCal is you know, if you're overtaking this part of him, it's not, you know, it's not easy for her to see someone else taking his place.
You're talking to a person who like spends most of their time on the internet. I don't think we see personal things quite the same.
Exactly, which is why there's this bit of this is still, you know, the stubborn. This is still SoCal's, whether it's his backup room or not. This is still SoCal's area. I haven't quite let go of that. I am human as opposed to you internet people who like to be plugged in.
Oh, no, you're
I thought you were elf, but anyway.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm not a Decker or you know.
And while you're chatting, Hollow finds the computer system start to shut down.
I was about to say if
Apparently,
Wait, what?
apparently for some reason the computer system's going through a reboot.
All because you left.
Exactly, it's all because I jacked out. What have you done?
I think SoCal's given his permission because he's fully aware.
Oh no, I know SoCal gave his permission, but as I said, this is more like that elf relationship. I am very attached to other beings. I like to take care of, you know,
Actually, you know what? It's probably SoCal like refreshing the server because that hasn't been done in a while.
Yeah, it could well be.
Just waiting for you to disconnect so that when they do a
So
proper
run all the
reboot
security
diagnostics.
updates.
Yeah, no. So you could probably install some new tricks for me to look at, probably. And I haven't jacked out for like a while.
It's kind of like.
You know what? Do you even know what month it is? I'm just curious.
Oh God. No.
Yes, thank you. You get all that information online. It's in my heads up display.
She
Thank
knows
you very
what
much.
the weather is.
Of course,
She has
of course, it's
experience.
in the hard world.
And Hollow's feeling a little bereft because the Wi-Fi is also gone offline. There's no internet.
You better have some damn strong coffee for this.
Of course, it's like a quadruple shot or something like that. I told him just keep putting shots in it until the whole thing was full of coffee, like espresso shots, and like there's like a drop of milk in this. It's a strong coffee. He knows you. See, look,
Yep.
there's a big H on the side of the cup, so that I don't accidentally drink it and stay awake for 6 days in a row.
But staying awake for 6 days is the whole point.
I am an elf. I like my human relations. I like hugging people. I like human type, touchy-feely type things. I connect better with people than I do with machines.
And to Hollow's horror, up on the screen comes a message saying the system is currently going through a refresh. Expected downtime 2 days.
2 days? Soka, what are you doing to me?
Perfect.
Why are you making me be in the real world for 2 days? Is this punishment for lightly mocking your friend? Or is this punishment because I've taken over your room? One of the two.
Shadow will look down at Apollo and go, oh, you can heavily mock me. So Cal will enjoy that quite a bit. And trust me, I deserve it. Rue is going to help us with our current job. And considering Desmond's off doing God knows what, probably for the Ancients, and getting in as a part of their group, we could probably do with some help.
Should be fun.
You want to gather in a real room, or your room's rebooting, and catch up?
It says it should be up sometime Friday morning, and it's currently Wednesday.
I mean, I was in the middle of working on the
Gathering
research?
info.
No, gathering info as well as making a signaling system. So I guess I can show you through that.
That would be good.
Okay. So I'm going to duck to the bathroom while you continue.
So what have you designed in terms of a more sophisticated signaling system between the Royal Meadows apartment and Deadshot Tower than a torch or a laser?
I don't know if you've seen those kind of like those flat holographic sort of screens, where you can sort of like preload icons and stuff onto them. And words.
I have an idea of what you're talking about. I can't visualize one, but that's okay. I get the gist.
Yeah, it's kind of like a version of that with like buttons with sort of like preset or can have like preset like help, we're good, or like, all clear, that kind of thing, like sort of preloaded on, so it's just like, like a click of like a button board basically.
Yeah.
That's synced between the two. To sort of be like,
taking into account that the Wi-Fi from Royal Meadows, the flat itself is non-existent. You had to go out.
I'm hoping, and I'm going old school here. Radio signals will still work.
Okay. Would radio signals still work from Royal Meadows?
Yeah, you could do radio signals from there.
Yeah, but radio signals, you definitely need to encrypt it because it's easy to intercept.
And that's what I've been working on, is making a two-way, like solely two-way talking.
Yeah, but
like
all your
frequency.
information was on the computer, correct?
No, she's been physically building this.
And also has her own little deck.
Yep.
And I have my own deck, so...
Without any insincerity or mockery at all, Shadow from her little elf tree world goes, "Why, Hollow, that's brilliant!" because
So,
I'm an arcanist and radio signals.
So is Rue
are-
an elf or human?
I'm an elf.
He said Rue.
Rue.
Yeah, we're human.
I was gonna say she looks human.
Oh, I was going
Mm.
more. Yeah, it's more of a dryad to me.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say. You
look,
could be-
she's like we're plant.
How
person.
do you like to be identified? Plant, human / elf / other.
Human / plant.
Okay.
Dryad sounds right.
Yeah, dryads are good.
Dryad works.
Yeah.
Does work well.
So.
Yeah, especially we're in a building that
Communication
loves to
system.
find out about magical beings.
Communication system. So I'm just writing down how your system works. So I gather there's one of these at Royal Meadows and one at Deadshot Towers, and you press the buttons on one and it communicates to the other.
Built from the drones that she's been recovering.
I like the recycling aspect here.
So they're a Frankenstein drone.
Why do you gotta horrify things like that? This is a beautiful system. There's no Frankensteinian about it.
Oh, like the weirdness of it. It beats the sleekness of the modern technology. It goes back to the jury rig stuff.
I can see that.
Well, most drones have the encryption to stop other people just instantly taking them over.
Yeah. No, I meant for the looks on it.
So I will take Rue through the job, which essentially comes down to the fact that we need to kidnap a pop star, a $1 billion pop star, for 3 days to prevent her from taking a PR job for Amber Gel, advertising their new line. And by doing this, the Amber Gel's competitor rivals hope to drive Amber Gel's product into the ground and then promote their alternative rival product, which is called Blue Bee Sky or Best Sky. Basically, there are billions at stake here. So we're going to drive a independent company who recently severed ties with Lone Star in favour of Knight Errant, sorry. And we're just basically going to kill a new indie beautiful thing so that its corporate rival can just get more money. And Shadow tries not to think about it too much because she's considering giving up $30,000 so that she is not a contributor to the death of this indie, brave, courageous indie company. She's even considering whether or not she wants to sabotage Blue Best Guy? What the hell is this? Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
Rue has heard of Euphoria because it's one of the few
Yep.
people Jane won't shut up about.
we're not allowed to
Pop
harm her,
music.
so no bruises, no.
So think of Euphoria as you would the Kardashians or Paris Hilton, but also does singing. So like a Taylor Swift.
And to further fill you in, she's protected by the contracted Michael Adams, known as Osprey, who is an ex-Shadowrunner and a street samurai. That's the guy you don't want to come within 200 feet of in the best of circumstances. And his best mate, Alexander Cross, otherwise known as Stone, who is a very skilled mage, well known, and top tier for both of them.
Yep, that seems tricky.
And we've got to do it, we've got to get her before Friday lunchtime, because that's when her first Amber Gel gig is. And we've got to keep her until Monday morning, at which point we can return her, and then Blue, Besky, Besky, however they want to pronounce their thing, will approach her with an offer to promote and launch their product instead.
Okay, so do we
Maris.
have any answers that don't involve engaging with the two stupidly powerful people?
It's in her penthouse, which is at the Pacific Hotel or whatever it's called. It's the 21st floor, I think. There's a little bit of an open garden there that's actually open that we could possibly get access to. We've got the schematics of her apartment. We know that Osprey and Stone are usually with her, plus 2 other guards, when she's in her apartment. But once she leaves the apartment, security ramps up. Desrin's idea was that we'd be best trying to get her while she's in the apartment, because it's the most limited one. We do know Stone and Osprey do leave her apartment on occasion, and we have employed Sophie the Decker, who has surveillance drones to surveil the place to try and pinpoint the times when Osprey and Stone actually, if they leave the building at a regular time, so that we can land ourselves on the balcony, probably because we'll get Flogger to throw us from an adjacent building or something. I'm joking about that part. Just finding an opportunity when they're not as close to her, and we just have to deal with the 2 lackeys that they leave behind, and then hopefully pinch her. The other thought of approaching it is getting her as she leaves the building to get in the car, like maybe replacing her normal car with a car we're driving. I don't know.
She's a massive celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Does she do fan signings or?
She does. That's when
else?
that's when Stone and Osprey are definitely going to be by her side, and there's not just going to be the 2 guards, but there's going to be all of their team there, and I think that's something like 8.
So
Does she need backup artists or anything like that?
That's a good question. Unknown.
So Rue does know that Mega Media Entertainment is the one that's currently got her on the books.
Oh yeah, I think I wrote that down here somewhere. There's just a lot of notes. I was trying to give you the short version.
Yeah.
And that you haven't quite managed to get noticed by them because, well, they currently have quite a few major talents, and while you'd like to think of yourself as a major talent, you haven't signed a major deal yet.
That's it. Just need to get that little bit closer, push that a little bit harder.
And as far as you're concerned, Euphoria's music is absolute trash.
Oh, it's hot garbage, absolutely.
Yeah, everyone seems to love it, including Jane.
I know, she's an idiot.
And no matter how many times you try to play her decent music, she keeps going back to that old crap.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't know who Euphoria is.
Look, it does actually make me feel a little better. Yeah, thank you. Oh god, it's just corporate garbage. Okay.
And Euphoria does the whole Big Brother style sort of thing, where she's constantly on camera.
That's right. Even though she's supposed to be on constant 24-hour stream, Hollow did a check and discovered that anything that's not live, as in her doing like a fan signing or a concert, anything that's in her apartment, anything that's in an enclosed room is edited and
So she's looping it.
looped material and so on and so forth. So we
Yeah,
can't rely on that for
Yeah, makes complete sense.
scheduling and stuff like that.
But it would be a complete shock to Jane, who absolutely idolizes the person.
Oh well, there
Yeah,
you go.
Jane's an idiot. She's lovely, but she's an idiot.
Tell Jane this, and she might start.
No, she won't. She's sad. She knows what she likes. It's wrong, but she knows what she likes.
Fair.
You've had many years of the bunny telling you everything about this person. So much so that you probably know more than most fans about Euphoria.
Maybe we should get Ruta to a knowledge roll. Give us a bit of information about whether or not she actually uses backup singers or warm-up singers.
Well, she does have people lead for her before she does concerts, do the warm-up stuff. And she generally gets local entertainment through her company to just, do the whole fan service for the city she's in at the time.
You're like
Give it a go. Michael, I have a band. We could do this.
But she's not actually doing any performances this weekend. It's all product placement and signing.
She needs someone to warm up the crowd before.
maybe.
They have hired non-musicians to warm up the crowd. They have comedians. They have jugglers.
They have lip sync. Probably carnival attractions. There's probably Belgian car in there somewhere.
What about dancers? Because we've got Flogger, who's somewhat famous.
They do have some dancers there.
Maybe we could injure one of their dancers and then replace them with Flogger.
Someone that Flogger actually knows one of the backup dancers.
Well, there you go. There's an in. Maybe.
Hey, picture.
Maybe Flogger can contact one of his backup dancers and see if he can get us a gig.
Come on, Flogger, be a friend. Help us out.
Would Flogger have him as a contact?
He would if he could use a phone.
Yeah,
we
that
could
too.
dial the phone for him.
Flogger will attempt to get in contact with this backup dancer to get in.
Okay, so the systems you normally use are currently offline and say they're going to be booted up again in 2 days' time.
Oh.
Hold on, sorry, Carl.
Apparently all the automation Flogger's been used to because he couldn't push the buttons is offline.
So-
Can we...
Other people can do it for him.
I was going to say, can someone help him?
Because when Flogger tries to push a button, he pushes all the buttons. He hasn't bought a troll-sized phone, he's got a normal phone.
Okay, can we get him like I don't know, like a pencil or something to press buttons?
No, you'll break that.
Yeah, I know. Just trying to think.
He struggles to hold a pencil because he can't really poke it no matter how well he holds it.
But then he gets frustrated and then his bloody swords pop out.
I was going to say, hello, myself, Rue, we can all dial for him.
Who does Flogger trust enough to access his phone and dial a number for him?
Shadow.
Looks like Shadow's it.
Actually, no, correction, Bolt.
Bolt.
Yeah, but
Bolt has successfully made a phone call before, okay? Just say.
Okay, so yes, you have pictures instead of names.
Bolt is going to look for the most flamboyant picture he can, and he's going to dial that.
Okay, so you flick through pictures. That there are quite a lot of flamboyant pictures on here. Flogger has developed a following of dancers.
It's a human we're supposed to be getting, right? So I'm going to look for the most flamboyant human and see if that narrows it down a bit.
Looking through it, there's not a lot of humans on here. There's a lot of orcs and trolls. There's a dwarf or two, a couple of elves, some other furry thing that you're not quite sure what it is, and apparently something that doesn't even have a face.
Bolt have better better luck if he was able to think clearly?
Possibly.
I mean, I'm thinking pretty clearly because I'm trying to look for a human flamboyant dancer. So it's either going to be the one without the picture, or it's going to be
I'm just
the
rephrasing it. Did you want to be buffed so you've actually got an intelligence more than one?
You can be touched by a mage.
I get the good pats. Good boy pats. I'm sure why not.
So have someone preach at you to make you think better.
Like this is how you use the phone. Good bolt.
So I can increase it by one. I can't boost it even more, can I?
You can't boost it twice yet. Did you want to try to boost 2 stats or 1 stat?
He's fine on all the other ones. He's great at cunning. And I think his will's not that fantastic, but he doesn't really need a high will. He just needs to be able to think straight.
Okay, so... And what is your... Divine is quite good. At this stage, that is your dice pool.
And spending a magic point. So I'm now dropping down from 6 to 5.
What are you spending the magic point on?
No, sustaining it.
Don't do it until after it's done. Oh, I forgot what your magic. What is your magic? 6.
I really don't mind rolling that many dice. This is going to be fun. That is not good. Oh no.
There's also a white dice in there.
So technically, it's a success.
Now, if I was just wanting to sustain it, I don't roll 6 dice. I'd be rolling 5 dice, correct? Or is it only comes in afterward?
You can't sustain something that's not active.
Okay, fair enough. Cool.
Okay, so
So can I use the 3 white to cancel out the 3 black?
you can choose not to use the black at all,
Oh, cool. That's even better.
or not to use the white.
Actually, I don't. This is just a basic spell. I don't really need to do anything with that.
So you can use one of your dice to, because you can basically make successes. So you can use one of these to power the spell, because you need at least one to do so.
Yep.
And then Bolt currently has intellect up to 2. And with the increased intellect, Bolt remembers that it was Ogre who was the backup dancer.
Thought it'd be Ogre. Because Ogre's on par with Ogre.
And Ogre definitely isn't human.
Actually, I think Ogre's better than Flogger.
I mean, come on. At least I was trying to, like, think logically, right?
No, you're now able to think clearly.
You were able to use logic, it just so happens you were using the wrong logic.
I was reading the wrong logic. Yeah.
It was still logical. You would have gone down to a path of the equivalent of Guess Who.
Come on, playing Guess Who with Flogger would have been fun.
And yes, you get the number for Ogre quite easily. What do you do with it?
Well, we're meant to be calling this person, right? So
Yep.
dial away.
Okay, so the phone rings for almost an entire one ring before it picks up.
That's scary.
Almost. Almost.
Almost the entire first ring, yes.
Wow. New record, right?
And you get a very close-up look of the ogre's face going, "Hey, big boy. Hey, you're not the big boy I'm expecting."
Vol kind of like tilts the phone towards Flogger and then sort of tilts it back
And she goes, "I'm disappointed there's no mankini."
Flogger's wearing a mankini.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
wearing
you're
a
talking about
mankini.
Bolt not wearing a mankini.
Oh, I'm not wearing a mankini. No, I'm not. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but
She basically pulls the picture back and you see she's wearing one. And hers is all glittery.
Oh no.
well, I have to have some sort of and Volt's trying to use coming here, and my personal brain is not working properly. As Flogger's personal assistant, I gotta have a decorum about me that and Bowles is using word, mind you, Bowles is using words he's never used before. So
And you hear her go, "Well, I heard he employed a fluffer."
A fluffer. Yes, that would be me.
So has he made any more of those risque movies then?
No, but we were hoping you could help us. We heard that
I haven't
there's
made any of those movies for a while myself, so I'm not sure how good I'll be at helping for that.
Well, not that one, but we were hoping you could help us with some gossip we've heard about.
Flogger just gets to the point. Ogre, you, me on stage, yes?
Yeah.
Always
you'll
happy
be on
to do
stage.
another dance off with my big boy there, she says.
Yes. But he is very. Flogger is very.
I bring finest mankini, yes.
Yes, he's very excited and wants to dance with you on stage, specifically at this event, and we were hoping you could get us in.
I'm sure I can definitely get Flogger up on stage. She's known a few people who've been looking for him. She believes the entertainment company would definitely signing it up for a few shows, not just their adult entertainment. Apparently they've seen enough of him online now that they don't really need to see more.
Yes. As have we all. But yes, we would very much appreciate being able to do this with you and wanting to, extend your friendly rivalry further.
Well, I'm sure we can do a good performance on Friday night in front of the crowds. She can definitely get you past the security because, well, hey, any friend of Flogger is a friend of hers.
Well, at least we got an alibi.
Yeah. That sounds great. If you can send us through the details, would be greatly appreciated.
Always up
Shadow
for it.
whispers because she knows Bolt's got a really good hearing. Flogger wants to meet Euphoria on Thursday night or Friday morning.
And Bolt kind of like hushes his voice a little bit too. Is like, Flog is a massive fan of Euphoria. Is there any way we can meet her beforehand?
I should love to say she could help with that, but as far as the accessing stars like that, even she doesn't get to meet the star until she's on stage.
Ah, damn. Well,
Okay. Well, hey, we thought it was worth a try.
Though she does hear that the star has this routine where she goes through a drive-through on the way to the show every time. Even for signings, it seems that it's like a compulsion. She has to pick up some sort of soft serve, whatever that is.
Oh, do you think she thinks she has a jinx? Ooh, this is definitely gossip. And Bolt totally gets on the whole, like, superstition and spiritual stuff there.
and she says, and yet there's never actually been any footage of her doing that on her live feed. She has no idea how she pulls that off.
I don't know, it must be some sort of magic, because she's always live.
And every time she shows up to a gig, she's got a soft serve cone.
somebody gets it for her.
Apparently she doesn't trust anyone else to prepare her food.
No, I don't say that out loud.
Yeah.
They're on a phone call. I know that, I'm limiting my conversation to the whole idea of Friday night's too late. We need to have her Friday before lunch.
Yeah. But at least we have a reason to be there now.
Yeah.
So and we now have intel. So
totally agree.
I really appreciate you, Bob. Olga. We will see you on Friday for the best dance off that has ever been.
She is looking forward to a dance off and would like to see what her Flogger's friends can bring to the party.
I was gonna say, Shadow will also point at Rue, because Rue wouldn't mind, regardless of anything, the opportunity to talking to mega media people and informing them that they need to expand their music representation into something of substance and taste. Which would include her.
Though she does say that she did hear a rumor that the media company was trying to pull off a new holovid called Sherlock Troll, the one who just dances his way through his cases.
Flogger is made for this.
Lord, we've created a monster.
He's good at investigating. He found his doors.
And apparently, since the Mankini craze has been going through Seattle, that there is a big push for it. We're not exactly sure which troll's going to get the gig, but hey, I'm sure Flogger could throw his Mankini into the ring.
He should.
Yeah, but
Should keep it on.
He won't get it.
Look,
Because as soon as he leaves, they'll go, who was that troll?
what will happen is Flogger will do the casting call. Womp will end up doing the job.
Yeah, right.
In a Mankini.
Yeah. True, I can pull it off better than he can.
Oh, a gauntlet thrown.
I'm sure that Flogger can rip his Mankini off faster.
Yeah.
He's had practice.
Now, the cunning plan. We call it bomb threats on all the fast food places except for one.
Sounds like a
So surely if it's soft serve, it's going to be one of the closer, it's probably going to be the closest venue to, or the closest store to wherever the performance is going to take place. Otherwise it'll melt. And the compulsion will be for naught. They'll have to go back, so they'll probably go the closest one.
I can only imagine there's quite a few near every venue though, so we might have to have multiple people at various.
When people were saying like ripping off my Mankini, it reminded me of a real life person by the name of Vigo Venn, who was on America's Got Talent, and he just started dancing in this high vis vest, but then he ripped one off and there'd be another high vis vest underneath.
Yeah, the multiple vests.
Infinite mankinis.
Were they different colours?
Yeah, they were.
Types? Yeah.
That was his stick.
No, they weren't. They were all high-vis yellow. They didn't change. It was just the fact that he had one under the other.
I might be thinking of a different performer who just had different multiple clothes underneath.
Well, there was also the dancers who would keep
That's
changing
who
their
I'm
clothing.
thinking of. I'm thinking of the dancers, not the heavy this guy.
Because they would just shimmy through a background and come out with a completely different outfit.
Yeah.
With less time than it would take to walk across.
Yeah, so I've gotten confused with something, but that's okay. That said, we could perform maintenance on all the soft serve machines because according to McDonald's, they're always broken down.
They've
Even
actually
if-
managed to get
It's probably a Wendy's or something like where it's not broken, or whatever the 2059 equivalent of Wendy's is.
Well, I'm sure.
Wendy's.
I'm sure, much like the American McDonald's, they've actually had to get an actual break in the patent to allow someone to go in and fix it, and it actually went through the courts. Because no one's the company that repairs it is now out of business.
Well, it's not like I don't have money to do that, so.
Okay, so yes, you do find through what Hollow had already been researching that she does seem to go for this really obscure Mexican soft serve.
Oh, great. I like
That's even
obscure
obscure.
Mexican soft serve choices. That makes figuring out where she's going to go easier.
And there's only 3 of them that seem to be operating in Seattle.
3.
Okay. Do we
Where's the
know
closest
where
one to the
her-
venue?
Her first lunchtime performance is going to be?
Her first lunchtime performance is supposed to be in downtown, and there's only one of these in downtown.
Nah.
There's
Okay.
one up near the Snowish area, where a lot of the agriculture is, and there is another one down near the zoo, which is closer to Fort Lewis.
I remember the zoo. I can't remember why. Something to do with Bolt and Florida.
Yep. Lots of things happen around zoos. So yes, you do have it roughly narrowed down to a single store that would be the one she would frequent. And it's basically one of those fan questions that people ask, and only the real obsessed fans can answer.
I feel like it's time to apply for a casual job at this local food place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should at least be qualified enough to mop floors or something. If not, figure out how to serve soft serves.
They always have help wanted signs up.
Time to get a casual job to fill this job.
Well, I've just spent 1,400 credits almost, so yeah, I could do with some
Mhm.
extra income.
And looking up online, it has the anyone can literally apply for it. They've just got to buy the uniform up front, pay for the accreditation.
How much does a uniform cost?
Oh, they only charge about 200 credits, which they then take from the wages.
Christ. Yeah, okay. I spent less getting the stun gear all together. So it is literally cheaper to stun someone than it is to get a job at Wendy's or wherever it is.
Very few people can pronounce it. It's that obscure.
I was going to say, is it McDoodles?
It is a Mexican name of some sort.
Oh, okay. Well,
Alonzo's.
Los Hermanos.
There you go.
And it does.
Los Hermanos.
It does have all this Aztec technology like symbology on it, but it's reputed not to be part of Aztec technology.
how well reputed?
Yeah, right.
Well, apparently Aztec technology's been trying to buy them out and put them out of business for years.
Okay. Hey, sounds like a place I could like is have a decent ice cream and not being observed.
Oh, that's fortunate. I just found my full list of gear.
And they seem to be having various campaigns about how their food's tainted, their food is crap, they can't get anything done on time, and all this sort of stuff, paid for by as technology. But they have a loyal following who don't care.
Cool.
Alright.
Road trip.
Yep. Like, I'll fill in the application, pay the necessary money to get a uniform and accreditation. How many people do we want potentially on the inside at the soft serve place? Am I getting troll-sized uniforms?
Like,
Bolt
what
size?
kind of engagement are we planning on? Are we doing a snatch and grab, like pull her in through the drive-through window and run, or?
Yeah, no, I like the idea of pulling her in through the drive-through window and then chucking her into another vehicle or stealthing her somewhere.
To help with that, you do have 2 trolls who could literally snatch and grab the vehicle she's in and walk off with it.
Yeah, well,
I'm mostly worried about the other people who might be in the vehicle with her.
yeah, we don't want them.
Yeah, like.
So yeah, I think if I presume since she doesn't want anyone else dealing with her food, she will be the one at the window. My stealth covers other people, doesn't it?
You can, yes.
So whether I or someone else pulls her through the window, I can literally throw her under my cloak, and give her sleepy drug. And then we can.
Your ability to create things. Can you actually
Yes.
temporarily create a vision of
Yes. Yes, I can create a doppelganger. I can create an illusion of a person. Because we asked this before.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're quick enough, we can snatch her, and you can probably try to.
If I snatch her and hide her, I can also use, I believe it's mask, to create an image of her still being in the car, long enough to maybe have someone like Bolt throw her over his shoulder and take her underground.
Yeah. So if I augment Shadow and put haste on her as well, will that make it a lot easier?
I think
Possibly, yes.
possibly. It'll depend on who's taking her underground. I think Bolt should be the one to take her underground because Bolt knows the underground system. So, but Bolt wouldn't need haste, so...
No. You need to be quick to do your stuff.
Do the grab. Okay, yeah, no, I got that. Yeah.
And I also can buff you up as well, so increase your whatever you use to cast spells.
Your speciality is augmentation, and my speciality is hiding things. And then.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do this to myself.
Then we could use Logger and to run intermediary if we need it, like slow, delay any chase if it happens. Because I'm pretty sure the mage is going to figure out my mask pretty fast. No matter how good I roll, that mage is going to figure it out pretty quickly.
Quite possibly.
Thus the haste. Sounds like a plan.
Your mask doesn't mask any electronic stuff as well, does it?
She can.
Because you'll need to do that too.
What will I need to do electronically?
You can hide, you can do your illusions so technology sees it as well as people. Most people, illusions are invisible to technology.
Yeah, because we have to do that with not just one book but 2 books now. In terms of pressure sensors and things like that. And scanning devices and stuff. I think the last time I used mask, it was to get into the Baron's house.
Hollow actually manages to dig up a little extra information for you. Apparently she actually makes her own soft serve in the restaurant.
Oh, so we don't have to snatch her through a window.
Oh god. She's
which
that,
is
she is that.
Pulling a Trump.
Oh, so that's how much she doesn't trust people making food for her.
She might be a germaphobe.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing at this point.
Mm.
Okay.
Mesophobe or whatever it is called.
I don't know the exact name for it, unfortunately. I only know germaphobe.
But hey, imagine if you had the money and you had a deal with the company. I'm sure they would definitely let you pay extra to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I still
It's
remember
free.
many of the places who would sell out to celebrities so the celebrity could literally shop in a store without anyone interrupting them.
Can you imagine how much money you'd make from a batch of soft serve that Euphoria herself had made? You'd make a lot of money.
Mm.
But she doesn't advertise it, so they probably don't.
Okay, so yes, you end up getting yourself a interview to go through all the hiring stuff on the next day
Alright.
for anyone who you bought the gear for.
If Vlogger's going for an interview, I want to listen in on this.
Is Flogger going to an interview for a Mexican all-you-can-eat sort of restaurant? Is Flogger going to serve?
Yes.
Okay, so you have no problems collecting the uniform. And it does fit, strangely enough. It's a bit tight, but it fits.
Please describe your uniform to us. Remember, it's a Mexican restaurant.
Think Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
So please describe it through the medium of dance.
Through the medium of dance.
Yes, please.
Is it Mexican or Aztec? Aztec.
It is Mexican, not Aztec.
Yeah,
Because
but I thought you said there's a lot of Aztec.
because Aztec took over Mexico. And Mexico doesn't exist as a country anymore.
Okay, but this is still reminiscing of some of the Mexican style.
It's Mexican culture.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of them went north to get away from this technology.
Yeah. Okay, I respect that.
And they ramp up the whole cultural thing to make everyone laugh. Most of the servers are dressed as wrestlers.
Oh, yes, Luchi masks,
Mm-hmm.
Luchadors, yeah.
luchadors. That's so. Okay, yes. So, Flogger is going to be in a luchador mask and with his mankini.
I don't know. Is that what you're wearing, Flogger?
Hello, Josh.
Hello. Flogger just rocks up in like the standard serving uniform.
Please,
so
please
he's
tell
not
me you
being
have like
flogged by
the
something.
mankini like over it.
It wouldn't be over it, okay? It's underneath. Yeah.
Right, Rue's just standing there with an exceptionally awkward hairnet over the flower.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Spanish.
And everyone sort of looks like a superhero because that's what the luchadors do look like.
Yeah.
Kind of amazing.
And they do have a range of superhero Happy Meals.
Cool.
On the plus side, we should all be wearing masks because we're luchadors, so, you know, they won't be able to identify us.
Exactly.
Plus, we have a cape.
And Rue's
And
acrobatic.
and they're basically always ready to hire people and try them out. So everyone gets basically a couple of hours to work to see how well they can do the jobs.
I will
Beans.
show a keen interest in learning how to use a soft serve machine and how to make soft serve.
Okay, so Shadow ends up going through the whole dessert training routine.
I was gonna say, what? I don't want to necessarily roll. I'm happy to role play.
I said she goes through the whole training.
But what would the role be for learning how to make soft serve? Just out of curiosity, not because I'm just curious. Is that like performance or?
It'll probably be coordination.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I'm happy to skip over it.
So they go through making about 20 different desserts. Half of them with soft serve, some with pancakes, some of them with waffles.
I am going to studiously practice, and if I have to, I will put in some extra minimum wage or free time to become as good as I can.
And they even have some dessert coffees.
That will keep me going through all of this extra practice of becoming a soft serve expert.
Flogger gets trained in how to make some of the bigger meals they do, because it all requires lifting, throwing, and making loud noises.
What kind of loud noises?
Well, if it sounds like it's an effort, it's obviously going to cost more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they really want to stage up like the Mexican wrestling.
It's very much a performance piece as well as a sale.
So
So think of it if McDonald's had everyone dressed up as the Ronald McDonald.
And then they have to body slam each other.
Pretty much, yes.
yeah, I was gonna say, is there actual wrestling happening now?
They do actually have a ring in the back,
So
and they have video screens watching the ring.
who exactly is wrestling with Flogger?
No one's currently wrestling with Flogger, but it does sound as if Flogger's wrestling while he's preparing food. Lots of crashing, lots of banging, lots of cheers.
Why do I get a feeling it's a cross between animal and the flying circus kind of thing?
And Flogger finds he's brilliant at making burgers.
That's a pleasant surprise.
You're brilliant at driving as well, and rock climbing, and lots of other things. So the fact that you're an expert flipper, not necessarily entirely surprising.
And he's managed to do the triple flip for the burger in the air.
Him or the burger?
The burger. He doesn't quite have the room to do the triple flip.
Interesting to see that. Is Bolt also going for a job, and does Bolt eat one burger for every burger Bolt makes?
Maybe, but it doesn't involve rat burgers, so it might not be as interested.
What kind of meat do they use in these burgers?
Unsure, it is trademarked meat.
It's
What does it taste like to Bolt?
Mexican rat.
Mexican rat.
It tastes like beans.
So
Yeah,
soy
it's
burgers?
not real meat.
It's very bean infused.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, so all the little things that little asterisks that say may contain meat.
I have a feeling though that there's a niche market here for catching rats on the wholesale side and mincing the meat and then on-selling it to takeaway joints.
And the nutritional side of this is actually rated better than the soy burgers you're used to.
Yeah, this is like 5 to 10 times the price.
I was going to say, is this much more expensive though?
It is,
It
yes.
is.
Yeah. Okay. This is why we don't eat here.
And it does have a huge clientele of vegans and vegetarians.
I have a feeling that Euphoria is probably a vegan or a vegetarian,
Mm-hmm.
which is something Bolt probably can't appreciate, but something Shadow
Definitely can. I don't like it to be eaten.
I don't like to be eaten.
And you Bolt can't smell any trace of meat in the entire restaurant.
I can hear unhappy puppy sounds occasionally, and I have to give Bolt reassuring pats and assure Bolt there will be meat later.
Yeah, they do have lots of burgers, they do have lots of burritos, they do have lots of mixes.
But okay. Joking.
Got a meat substitute.
What's the trademark patty?
Well, we
Yeah.
all know from previous sessions when everyone else is eating rat on a stick, Shadow's like, I'll stick to my vegetarianism, thank you.
And yes, they Rue finds that they're quite good at doing the flair at the counter to do the presentation and make the customers exceedingly happy.
Well, it's all about, you know, bit of style.
And every now and then someone actually recognizes Rue from the voice.
That's the innate performer in me.
It was a good attempt.
Though I'm sure the flower out of the side of the head is part of the giveaway.
Oh yeah.
It is part of my signature look. Signature look? I don't know.
And so people are sort of trying to find out when your next gig is while they're getting their food.
Perfect. Well, I'll give them the details. You know.
Yeah, we just need a luchador band to play.
That'll look good. That's
We can suggest
probably
that
not
to
as
the
hard as you
manager.
think.
That'd be one way of getting a gig. You could, if we suggest it to them, in fact, I'm going to suggest that to the manager and suggest that Rue sing, and that particularly just before the lunchtime rush would be a great time for her to be performing right when Euphoria arrives. It's a showcase. Euphoria will see how brilliantly talented Rue is and recommend Rue to the mega media management people, and she'll
Yep.
get a contract.
Right before we kidnap her. Yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just really depending on how vain this person is.
If you didn't add that, I was going to add that after a beat.
And-
We'll kidnap her.
You also notice that Bolt's really struggling, just doesn't have his heart into making any of his food products or selling it.
I understand.
You know
I'll
how,
give him a bit of a pep talk.
You know how I think I watched, I don't know if you watched it with me, but I watched something recently where couples who had been online finally meet, and this guy from England goes to India to meet his love, and their whole family greet him, and they make him their traditional foods, and 2 minutes after starting eating, he orders Uber food from McDonald's.
Yeah, because he has.
So the way this ties in is, while we're doing all this, the sadder and sadder Bolt gets, Shadow orders Uber from somewhere that serves rat burgers or rat on a stick.
Bolt can have some of the dessert.
Even the dessert doesn't have animal products in it.
Just to kind of keep Bolt going. Does it sneak it to you, sort of? I'm good at stealthing.
So it's fake soft serve.
It is real soft serve, it just they make it without
It's
animal
just vegan,
products.
yeah. Or vegan.
It is possible to do that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that seems to be how they manage to keep themselves in business.
Makes sense.
It's their big selling point besides the luchador side of things.
Well, on the other side, I believe that Aztec's probably got the same thing, because it's actually cheaper. They just got chemicals instead.
Most of the Stuffer Shack stuff and things like that are all heavily processed.
Mm.
And a lot of the stuff they have here, they do say is organically grown.
From where?
They have deliveries on a regular basis.
Cool.
And you do see that they do prepare batches of meals that go out to the city centre's Universal Brotherhood.
How long have they been doing that for?
Well, they say ever since they opened up the city branch, they've been sending them meals for lunch and evening.
What do you mean by they've been sending the meals? Is that like meals for their staff, or they've been sending them excess food?
Or they've been paying for meal batches.
So they order food from the restaurant.
Whatever we
serve
have
to-
excess of, they're more than happy for us to prepare and pay for.
Okay, so they are like with all the other places, they're just buying the excess.
Yep. And we never have anything go off, and they always happy for whatever we send.
For all this, their donations, I know, but I'm making notes because there's a tie-in with these Brotherhood people, and I'm fairly sure when they hit the fan, it's not gonna be a good thing.
And a big part of what they provide is the ice cream.
Interesting.
Much to Womp's displeasure.
I'm gonna be very
Well,
curious.
it's not ice cream. It's something else.
Curious to
Because you
see-
can't call it ice
Sorry.
cream if there's no bloody cream in it.
Be curious to see.
That's why they call it soft serve, because they can put anything in it.
Anything.
As long as it's soft and then they serve it, it's a soft serve.
Okay, so yes, you have managed to secure yourself a couple of days trial.
So,
The only person who couldn't get past the recruitment was Bolt.
yeah, I was gonna say, even with the extra ordered in.
From their opinion, Bolt just didn't have the heart for the job.
Plus, also the onions probably wouldn't help either.
I'm fairly sure, although I'm sure he'll confirm it. Bolt's entirely unhappy with the situation.
And with the entire showmanship of stuff, it seems that Flogger is a management favourite, quickly followed by Rue.
It's good.
And Shadowstar has no problems getting work.
I just want to go under the radar. But I
It's
do
quite easy, you
want
just
to
need to be
establish
somebody who's
myself
flamboyant.
as the soft serve, the new soft serve expert.
Well, the current people there are happy to have a bit of a break.
Can I do anything to enhance my ability to make better soft serve than everyone else?
Well, you are currently one of the experienced people there because you can make it. Most of
Okay.
the others generally move on to other jobs over time.
Okay. I'm happy to work exclusively in soft serve. In fact, when I'm tested at all the other stuff, I'm like below average, but I'm going to be top performer on soft serve.
I'm more interested in getting their recipe in that. So when we do kidnap her, we can just go, here's your food, all the soft serve.
Well,
you can make
no,
it yourself.
She wants to make it herself, so I am going to take special note of ingredients, and if they aren't named ingredients, I don't care if I have to roll or whatever, but I'm going to stealth ingredients out of there and stock them back at the apartment. By the way, at the apartment, I am going to buy a working fridge and freezer. You'll have to let me know how much it's going to set us back, because fairly sure she needs to make her own soft serve. We're going to need a working fridge and freezer, and the one we've got right now doesn't.
The freezer part doesn't work, but the fridge does.
Yeah. So I'll just buy a brand new.
Might as well just end up taking over and using it as a safe spot.
Yeah, we probably will. It's the best. Depends on whether or not we have to burn it.
That's always a possibility.
Not literally, but figuratively.
Okay, so yes, you start making arrangements. You're sure you can get people to take take in what looks to be a battered fridge.
Yeah.
Because taking in what looks to be a brand new fridge will definitely not reach the apartment.
Well, you just put any type of illusion over it.
Yeah. Illusion it. Was there a decent enough job done on the cleaning that we don't have to get cockroach on a stick going?
Well, by the time you make it back, you find that the floor seems to be rather devoid of moving cockroaches.
Oh, good.
Quite a few dead ones, but doesn't seem to be any moving ones.
So if I'm not working at the takeaway place, I'll be putting all of us to work in cleaning out bug bodies. Because even if I'm only staying there for 4 to 5 nights or days or whatever, I don't want to sleep in amongst bug bodies.
And you're pleasantly surprised to find the hot water system has been fixed.
Desrin will be happy.
Well, they did give the guy money to fix it up.
And is the bed sleepable?
Bed looks fairly sleepable once you get rid of all the creepy crawlies. They're mainly dead, so it doesn't take much to get rid of them all.
Yeah, that silence was me repressing the shudder of...
It's alright, we've already got you in it and all that, so.
None of that was put on the bed
No,
yet.
yeah, we
You need to get a new mattress.
we established there was fresh linen, but we were planning on getting a new mattress because and we were going to get some extra chairs and things because even though we might not all be there, it'd be nice for more than one of us to be able to sit down. But it can just be like decent second-hand furniture. It doesn't have to be.
The chairs no longer match.
That's fine.
It seems that the broken one has been removed.
That's fine. Good. It was just the one chair that was broken, wasn't it?
That was correct. And you did have someone pay for a clean-up of the apartment.
Yes.
We'll throw matching blankets over them so then they match. If someone...
Okay, so yes, you have a plan, you have a way to take the person that would be potentially less hazardous for you.
Hopefully, yeah.
Though you have to figure out how to get them out of downtown and out to Redmond.
So, Bowl, your underground network, is there any close by openings? Do you want to scout the area and see if you could find an entrance?
Bolt probably already knows a way in.
Yeah, this is one of those places you don't come near because of the smell.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so you might have to...
But I'd probably know of the entrance nearby, right?
You do know of many entrances nearby because you always leave the tunnels whenever you come near this place.
Yeah.
I guess for the sake of the mission, I guess we should establish how far away that is from the actual building so I know how long I'm going to have to mask.
It's about an hour's drive.
An hour's drive to the closest underground entrance.
Well, from an hour's drive from the restaurant to your safe house.
Okay.
You could probably get to an underground entrance in less than a block.
Okay, because my mask can last that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how long would it take Bolt to cover that kind of distance?
Not long.
Okay.
Bolt's quite fast.
How long does one of those go to sleep patches work for?
Generally lasts until maybe a couple of hours.
Okay, so if we were to go by the scenario that she comes in to make her soft serve, we put her to sleep, mask her, get her to an entrance, and then Bolt takes her to the hidden entrance to Royal Meadows, the sleepy patch will have her out well long enough for Bolt to do that without her waking up on him partway through the journey.
Sounds fairly doable.
Sounds feasible.
Does
And
sound
then-
feasible.
If all hell breaks loose, we're gonna have to rely on Flogger, Rue, Womp, and I would probably be nearby, and Desrin and Talon presumably, depending on who's able to.
Who's not caught up doing other activities?
Yeah,
Who knows? Flogger may be doing a dance off.
yeah. Flogger might be. Yeah. That's
We have an alibi on top of, you know, covering her disappearance with the dance off.
absolutely.
So, you know, I think we're doing pretty well actually.
So someone has to remind Flogger not to take the celebrity to the dance off.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Achievable. Very achievable. Alright.
Okay, so you have your plan set in motion.
Alrighty, in the bits that I haven't written in, because my hands are too
And you should be able to pull that off next session. I'm sure Jeremy will be happy that you've come up with a plan without him.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it involves Mexican food.
And luchadors.
Jeremy probably would look good in a luchador outfit.
Desrin would definitely, so would Talon.
So let's say we filled out applications for them too.
That sounds good.
In fact, I'm gonna totally volunteer Desrin for luchador duties. Don't tell him I did that.
It's on camera.
Don't tell him I did that. You gotta presume he watches it. You gotta presume he watches it all the way through.
Okay, so is there anything anyone else would like to add for their characters?
No. Okay.
You're all good?
So we'll have a good plan to go. We have a few spellcasters able to bring some magic to bear.
I did want to contact the children of Sophocles, but again, I can leave that till next session. But I think I did that last session as well. But
Let's just say
I'll
they
get
were
there.
busy today and they'll get to you tomorrow.
Yeah, because I want to talk to them about other things as well.
And is Flogger happy that he's become the star server?
Yes.
I'd still like a visual depiction of your outfit. Are you wearing like the fluffy sleeved bolero in addition to your... No?
Yeah, I don't know. So like he's got the luchador mask on. He's got like a shiny cape. He's got like a full like luchador attire.
Yeah, I just thought there might be a floggerism added to it though.
It's bright, it's colourful, it's shiny.
Yeah, it's bright, it's colourful, and I can basically dance my way around serving people.
I was thinking that maybe your cape might have like a embroidered stitching of a door.
Yeah, we don't want to promote door
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure that's one thing like a lot of people are looking out for is the fact that there was a mystic troll with doors.
Is that known? Oh, okay. I didn't realise it was
Mm.
known.
That's how he managed to get away from the police forces after killing most of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I didn't realise that was something police forces knew.
And they can't move the doors because wherever he stuck the doors, they're permanently
Oh,
stuck
because
there.
we discovered them
In the junkyard.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he has a calling card left behind when he uses it.
I had forgotten.
Yep.
Oh, that's all mentioned.
But there's potentially 49 more of those to be dropped.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
Only 49.
Well, he collected 52 to start the set.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so We have managed to get through a planning, purchase, and information session.
Yes. And I shall be Manuel.
And soon we shall go to end credits. And next session, I'm expecting a mage off, a dance off, and maybe a serve off.
What's a mage off?
2 mages throwing down.
Am I one of those mages?
We'll find out.
Could one of those mages actually be warm? Totally, I vote for warm.
I'm more defensive.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being a coward.
I can do offensive stuff, but I'm not that fantastic.
Yeah,
at this.
so
No,
going-
I know the mage is me.
Going to end credits.
Yep.